vamos a dar comienzo a la segunda sesión de análisis de sentimientos y opiniones. En primer lugar tendremos una charla que dará Francesco Barbieri con el título de District Satirical. Cuando quieras.
Vale. Y un segundo. Vale. Hi, I'm going to speak English. Hope it's not a problem. So I'm Francesco Barbieri, and I present you this joint work with Horacio, Saggion, who is there, and Francesco Ronzano. We study satire in Spanish in the social network Twitter. What we did here was building a system able to detect with good accuracy whether a news in Twitter is satirical or not. So let's see how a news in Twitter looks like. I'm going to show you 3 examples now, and where 2 are real news and 1 is a satirical news. So the first one, you can read here, is so the Prime Minister Rajoy hides the election day to his government. The second one is, so this guy Sanchez states that Rajoy is a fraud and the most inadequate to govern. And the third, this one reads, Mariano Rajoy will need to govern under the supervision of an adult. So you probably know that the third sentence, the third news is not a real news. It didn't happen. But at the same time, this can be funny to someone, to at least to the readers or to the writers. But at the same time, it's not only about being funny. It's not only a joke. This is as well. There is a hidden meaning. There is a deeper meaning there. So, besides being funny, it says the same thing that Sanchez says. It says that Rajoy is not able to govern. Okay, so satire is not only about laughing. This is a very important thing. And Coletta says that satire is not a comic device; it's a critique. But it uses comic devices such as parody and exaggeration to get its laugh. So again, it's not only about laughing. And again, satire is a form of language where humor and irony are used to criticize someone or something. So this is very interesting because it's something that's deeper than just being funny. You know, it's something more than irony and humor. Okay, there is always a meaning. So I think it's interesting. But at the same time, besides being interesting, at least to me, satire is very useful. And so why we should study satire in computational linguistics? First, because it's an hard problem. Because, of course, when figurative language is employed, most of you know that machines struggle to detect like the figurative meaning of a sentence instead of the literal meaning. So, and as well, in our case, in our specific case, because these news, they really look like real news. So they think they're real news. A few more examples here. Let's call this scientific satire. Okay, so there are scientific news, fake news. So you can see that the form of language, it seems like the words used, like the study, researchers from the university say, and this kind of things. So, but at the same, it looks like a news, but it's not. Okay. And okay, and but why? Okay, it's a hard problem, but is it as well useful for us? It is. It is because it will help a computer able to detect, to understand, recognize satire, would help the field of affective computing, so helping the human-computer interaction, so understanding when someone is told, like with satire, to a computer, and as well for sentiment analysis. Probably the task guys here knows that when humor and irony is employed to criticize, it's a big problem in sentiment analysis. So when a sentence looks like neutral or positive, but it's negative. And so the data set was, we retrieved from Twitter about 40,000 tweets, a bit more, from 4 newspaper Twitter accounts. 2 were real newspaper and 2 were satirical newspaper accounts. And so a few examples from the real newspaper. It was El Mundo and El País, okay, popular newspaper in Spain. And the satirical newspapers, they were El Jueves and El Mundo Today. And I was looking this morning, there are more than 500,000 followers, so it's quite popular. They are both quite popular. I think most of you know them. And as you can see here in the examples, El Jueves and El Mundo, I put the same news, okay, the real news and the satirical news. And I put in bold the same words used. So you can see that the satirical news, both and as well in El Mundo Today with El País, they include the same words. Okay. So what kind of model we built? 2 different models. One was a simple bag of word that we use as a baseline. So lemma 3 grams, keep 1, 2, 3 grams, and very simple, often used in sentiment analysis and in this kind of tasks. And our system that we use for satire detection was built last year, proposed last year for irony detection. And the idea of this system is to avoid word as features. So we don't use any bag of word features in our system. Instead, we use like intrinsic property of the words. I'll show you in a few moments. But why do we do this? Because we want to be language independent and as well domain independent. Because if your system doesn't depend on the words you use, you can be like, so your system won't depend on languages and domains. A few the features we had, there were about 40 features that can be grouped in 6 group of features. The first 2 are very simple, characters and part of speech. So we look at the commas and the length of the tweet, the part of speech. So we count the nouns, very, very simple features. Ambiguity would be the number of scene sets. So the idea, the intuition here is that a word, it's more likely to be used in an ambiguous way if it has many meanings, scene sets. Because like you can use one of the multiple meaning available to say 2 things at the same time. And so bad and swear words, we compiled, so I asked to the native speaker in my office to compile this list of bad words. They had fun compiling this. And there are like many bad words in Spanish, I didn't know, like more than I know in Italian actually. And synonyms and word choice. So we try to model the choice of a synonyms instead, a choice of a word instead of the other synonyms available. And sentiment lexicons that in this task don't work very well. The experiments. So a couple of experiments. And we use 3 different models, the baseline, let's say, the bag of word, our system for irony detection, and we put as well all the features together to see if they can help each other, okay? 2 kind of experiments. So the first one, I call this all account together, and the question is, can we recognize satire in Spanish with good accuracy? And so what we did was a very common practice, and we put like all the tweets we had in a 10-class validation. And so El País, El Mundo, El Jueves, and El Mundo Today. and we run a binary classification. So the task was saying if the tweet was satirical or not. And the problem here is that someone can say that we are cheating, that we are not actually detecting satire, because like there are the same here in this case. If a system instead of detecting satire detect the let's say the form of language of a specific account, it would be a problem, because you're detecting for example, a Pais could use always the same words every day, or the same form of language structure. So as well, we added to our framework, experiment framework, these experiments. We have all the accounts, so we want to avoid this account bias effect. We had non-satirical and satirical accounts. What we did was simply dividing them, each account, in 80 and 20%, okay, to groups, and using the 80% in the training set, for example, and putting one non-satiric and one satiric in the training set, and using the 20 for test. So in this case, El Mundo and El Mundo Today. So in this way, we can combine all the training test set. We can use all the tweets without avoiding. So in this way, training set and test set will not share the same account, tweets from the same account. So let's see a few results. When we put all the account together, our system works better than the baseline, but the baseline achieved like good accuracy actually, like it's 73%, and the random baseline here is 50, of course, because it's a binary classification. But in this case, adding words features to our system helps. And you can see that the best system here was when we put all the features together. But when the tweets in the test our test and training set do not share same tweets from the same account, we can see that the bag of word decreased the performances, and our system works better as before. But as well, it was better than the old system. So in this case, adding words features doesn't help. Just in one case. These ones are all the combinations. So for example, N1 and S2 would be El Mundo and El Mundo Today, and N2 against S2. It's non-satirical and satirical. So there are 4 combinations, right? So this is the idea. Let's see the results. And let's see the learning curve. So we start with a training set of 500 tweets. And we can see that our system works always better, even with less tweets. And the best performance that each system reach, we can see that we need 5,000 tweets to achieve the best performance in the bag of word. But our system learns quite quick. It's in 2,000 tweets, it already achieved the best performances. You can see this as well as in here. So the best is like here in 2,000. So this is a really good thing, because of course, like we don't always have a lot of data. That could cost money. And that's why like it will be quicker to process the tweets and this time. So it's a good thing. So our model is faster as well, and it's not only better. So the conclusions. What did we do? Was building a system, retrieving tweets from Twitter, and the good thing here that usually the tweets are not related from these accounts. So you can as well download the tweets just with the Twitter link. You probably know that we cannot share tweets like the text, but we can only share the ID. So and the data are really good. Like there is not the usual noise that Twitter data have. And so this is very good for satire. And the models we used were the bag of word and the error detection models, as shown, but that we use for satire detection, and it worked. The achievement. So this was a very hard task, I think, but the results are quite good, and as well, this is the first system for irony and humor satire detection in Spanish. So, and the baseline was outperformed. The good thing of this system as well is that it can be used over different domains and different languages. We as well have the same system for Italian and English. And we're building as well for the same system for new languages. And starting to think at the vector space model. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Yeah.
Thank you. Time for questions.
Thank you. That was really interesting. I'm glad we're looking at figurative language. What I want to know is what you have learned, what the features are. So if I ask you, okay, how can I tell satire from something that is not? What would you tell me? Mm-hmm. But also, would that work? I mean, yeah, but would that work in something else than tweets?
So this is so about the first question, this is so the best features on the top. So what we learned here is that very simple features works, like the style works quite well. So like just looking at the commas or this kind of very simple things, it works. And as well the structure, path of speech, and ambiguity. So using like usually tweets with that employ satire use a lot of ambiguous words. That was the idea, and of course bad and swear words, because like you usually like you put insults or something similar in satire sometimes. And yes, I don't know. Oh, and the interesting thing is that sentiment lexicon here not very useful. So I expecting something more, when you are satirical, when you are giving an opinion, but actually you are hiding it. So you are like, it looks like a real news. So sentiment lexicons can detect the opinion here, the subjectivity of the critique. And about the other thing, I think it can be used. They're very like general features, and they can be used, I think, over different. In bigger texts and in other domains, I think. But yeah, we didn't try yet.
Seems to be a good problem to apply the ideas that Bernardo have presented about pragmatic. Do you think, or do you imagine any way to include this kind of features to solve this problem?
Yes. I'm actually going to do this soon, because I'm going to Trento probably to do like something similar. Yeah, with Baroni. But adding like features from images. And seeing if we can have different from this information from different sources. And yeah, I think it's I really like it. Yeah, this idea, but I haven't tried yet.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, thank you.